Hello everybody, Dr. Blue here. Welcome to the Gears of War 4 Blue Review, the last game that will be reviewed through the use of gameplay videos. From now on I will be reviewing games by playing them on stream, that way the reviews can come out on time, I don't have to spam the channel with videos people don't really want to watch, I'll have more free time because I won't be editing 2 videos a day, and just in general, videos will be better quality. It's also going to improve the amount of reviews I put out per month, so honestly, this is really the way to go. Also, I do have to mention this review won't be spoiler free, just because the game's quite old now and I just kind of wanted to get this game out of the way because it was the last one I hadn't finished. So there's going to be spoilers in this throughout. Later today I'm going to have a new plan for 2018 video coming out, as the old one is kind of outdated already, but let's focus on Gears of War 4 for now. So, my first impressions for this game came from, well, my first episode on the game. We were thrust into the past under the command of Dom. Playing as loads of different Gears, holding off the Locust throughout the war, it was a real blast to the past, and whilst it was fun, it also felt weird because it was a really odd way to recap the story of Gears of War. We only played old scenes of the war, not any of the scenes cleaning up the remaining Locusts once Marcus activated that device that killed most of them. And so the first impressions for this game were a little sketchy at first, but thankfully this improved as time went on. And first off, I have to say that the new cast we got, I actually liked. JD, Kate, Del, and Oscar was good too, but obviously he didn't get enough time in the game. Hopefully he plays a larger role in future games, but it was good to have Marcus in his place. But this cast was really good, I really liked them, they really fit into the universe well. Normally when a game gets a new cast, they're not really liked because they're not really the A-team, but honestly, these characters fit in well with the cast of the game. That said, we did get to look at some of the old cast. Marcus was brought back for instance, same with Baird, Cole and Sam. We got to see what they're like when they're old, and it was nice to see them even if it was just for a small part of the game. And the whole Baird watching over the team the best he can throughout the campaign was a nice touch, and it does sound something like Baird would do. But there's some rivalries there, like JD hating Baird, that weren't really explained, but I could see that being built upon in future games. That hatred getting worse and worse, that could be really exciting.
He said he'd meet us at the intersection just ahead.
Something big's heading this way. Hey Marcus, you jinxed us.
What is that? Oh wait. Oh, it's friendly? Oh, thank fuck. Oh, thank fuck.
When Marcus Phoenix calls him help, he does not mess around.
Oh, thank fuck. Wait, is that our backup? Who's this? Bed.
You don't call, you don't write.
Yeah. What up, Bed?
Hey, who loves you, Marcus?
Fucking Cole.
Been too long,
Yes.
Cole. Yeah, about 10 years too long.
Nice.
You remember James? Yeah, I remember him being a lot smaller.
Everyone's small next to you, Uncle Cole.
Uncle Cole? Excuse me, what? Didn't I give you enough toys when you were a kid?
Oh, I've seen enough of your toys to last a lifetime, thanks.
His toys.
Kate, Del, meet Damon Baird, CEO of DB Industries, whose bots have been trying to
Oh,
kill
it was
us
you,
for the last
Baird.
20 hours.
Hey, whoa. The whole killer DB thing? Jin did
Oh,
that,
okay, that's
not
fine.
me.
Well, they've still got your initials on them.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. DB
You go
Damon Baird.
AWOL from the
Okay.
COG, about 6 months ago. And somehow, no one arrests you. Or even more recently, there you are, stuck in Settlement 5, and just magically, a bot transport cart pulls up and tells you to get in.
It was you,
Oh, seriously,
Baird.
Dad? You had this asshole watching out for me?
I think the word you might be looking for is thank you.
Do they not get along then? So he likes Cole but doesn't like
You know the kind of day we've had? You wouldn't ask.
doesn't like Baird. Shit.
JD's and Jack Jr., so one of you take second betting.
Jack Jr. Ah, yeah, there's the little robot they used to have.
So they back. Really back.
And then Betty is in Dizzy's old rig.
Kind of missed him in a weird, messed up sort of way. I know what you mean.
And there's our ride.
The King Raven.
I'm here, sweet cheeks. Ready to go?
Bernie?
Tell me your wife wanted to do this.
Sam and I aren't married.
Oh,
Special
Sam.
lady friend, please.
Oh shit, really?
And she
Oh shit, I
insists on
forgot about
coming.
her. Is Carmine here then? Where the fuck is Carmine? Oh shit, they are married. Nice. They used to fuck around a lot, tease and shit. That's
Yeah,
nice.
I hear you.
But as I said, we got some gaps there, which I will get to later in the criticisms. And if you didn't know, the Coalition is a new company that took over the Gears of War franchise from Epic Games. And the Coalition kept the gameplay exactly how it was. Even with the new weapons and enemies, it still felt like Gears of War. If it wasn't broke, Coalition didn't fix it. They kept things like the cover system, the TACCOM, all the way to the objective sounds and the ladders. It felt like Gears. They didn't change what they didn't need to change. The gameplay was kept true and honest to its roots. And it's rare that a company will do that, especially when they get a new game for themselves, so I can really appreciate that. And while we're at it, the new weapons that were added were quite creative, but most importantly, you could see them in the Gears universe. They weren't these crazy weapons that were out of reach with Gears lore. A drop shot was basically the opposite of the Locust Digger. The Buzzkill being a construction tool, originally modified into a weapon, and honestly, a lot of the weapons, including the drop shot, were actually done this way. Even the new robots that we fought were originally meant for construction to build after the war that were then turned into weapons. It was a really creative way to make new enemies and new weapons for us in keeping with the lore. The new enemy types we got as well were creative. Some games really struggle with coming up new enemies, or at very least new archetypes of enemies. See Mass Effect Andromeda. But Gears has never been one of those games, and they aren't about to let us down now. There was the mutated Corpser, the Carrier, the Snatcher, the Pouncer, and they are all unique whilst all still being recognisable as Swarm minions. We're gonna fucking step up and we're gonna fucking save everyone.
Oh, God. It's another one of those pods.
Fuck that damn thing. What the fuck? What the fuck? Those look like locusts, in a way. And one thing I've always liked about Gears is that they're not afraid to kill off characters, and when they do it well. They create an atmosphere, and then they really enter the mind of the victim. It happened with Ty. Marcus thought he was ready to kick ass against these locusts because that's how he normally is, but he'd been tortured to the point where he was just so broken mentally, and it broke his character. The same happened with Reyna. She was tough as nails, but the Swarm and Locust have a way of breaking you down. So where's Reyna?
Let's go get her.
Let's find her and free her.
Oh my god.
Oh shit, what the fuck? What are they doing to her? She okay? The fuck?
You knew. Didn't you?
Yes. But I didn't know we'd find this.
Oh shit. They're turning her into Swarm. Oh fuck.
I'm released. I'll die. They've seen to that. Katie, come close,
Oh my god.
please.
Reyna, please.
JD,
You can't ask her to...
don't. Just let me say
Oh
goodbye.
my god. Oh shit. They're fucking turning her into like their queen or something. Oh fuck.
Take it.
God.
Again. No. It's okay.
Oh shit. Oscar's truly well dead. I mean, shit, that's also what happened with Dom. They took his wife, breaking him down to take his own life. And that story twist with Kate and Raina was fucking awesome. That is going to build on future games for sure. So is Raina. Fuck, man. That's rough.
This isn't over. So get her somewhere safe.
I don't need protection.
I know. You need time. Trust me. I've been there.
Yeah, that's true.
She wanted you to have that.
It was my grandmother's. I never knew her.
It's beautiful.
Oh, shit. For those of you who might not know exactly what I'm talking about, at the end of the game, Kate's necklace that she got from her mother was actually originally her grandmother's. And on the back of this thing, it had the Locust emblem on it, but Kate wouldn't have known that because she never fought them. The only woman to ever be in the Locust was the Queen Mira, who was identifiably part human. So if Kate's grandmother was the Locust Queen, it makes sense why the Swarm tried to do what they did to Raina. They wanted a new queen to lead and guide them. Kate cut down those tentacles and killed her mother, Raina. So what are the Swarm going to do now? Who will they be going for next? They'll be going for Kate. It was an excellent twist that is going to be really good for future games, especially if they succeed in making a new queen. Old allies turned against each other, like if Kate gets kidnapped and turned into the Locust Queen, then JD will have to fight her. Even Oscar too. And it'll be old allies turned against each other through the devastation of the Swarm, which is why I was also so eager to see the JD and Baird rivalry escalate. Because they too could turn against each other at some point. I don't know how they do it, but this will make for some excellent, entertaining story, just as this one was. However, with any game, Gears of War also has its flaws, even with this story. One of the first nitpicks I have with the story is that the 25-year time gap between games was too much. All of our best heroes aged to the point of nearly being retired. Hoffman is on the edge of death with how old he is. Anya passed away where we didn't get to see it after only really being in the game for a short time as a playable character. The time gap was just too much of a skip, and honestly one thing that has always annoyed me about Gears of War is how much of the story is told through comic books. So although this is 25-year gap between games, it's all going to be explained in the comics, but there are honestly so many comics I've never kept up with them, and I'm not going to. And this is why there's always so many holes in the Gears of War storyline sometimes, because it's all over in the comic books. I just wish it would be explained in the game. And we were still missing a lot of characters from the old games. I would have liked to see what happened to Clayton Carmine. I would have liked to see his brother, who we never got to see, Dee Carmine. Bernie too, who was Hoffman's girlfriend or fiance, I'm not really sure of their position. Dizzy Wallin from The Rig. Jay Stratton, who was part of the squad. And probably others that I'm still forgetting. There's just so many unanswered questions with this huge time gap. And speaking of unanswered questions, who is Gary Carmine? Is he Clayton's son? If so, why didn't we get to even meet him or Clayton? And did he really die at the gate? Really?
Raina, the wall guns are ready.
Carmine, get back up there.
Carmine? Yo! 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 Did I hear a... Is that D. Carmine? Is that D. Carmine?
There's a dropship.
Here we go.
Here we go. You're right. I'm gonna take this sniper.
Hey, no! Carmine took it up. Indicate I'm an excellent teacher. I taught him everything he knows.
Good job, Carmine.
Oh shit! Carmine!
Carmine, you seriously... Right, I'm gonna be so pissed if that was Carmine and he just died and I didn't even get to know him. I'm gonna be super pissed if that's the case. Alright?
Someone made a joke to me once that Gary Carmine's only voice line in the whole game was, "Ah!" And the thing is, it's funny, but that's true. He only has one voice line where he dies. It's like, come on. Just please, Coalition, do not forget the Carmine brothers. Lift the mask on the last Carmine, would you? Tell us what happened to Clayton. Tell us who D. Carmine is. And with Gary, they just kind of ruined the whole A, B, C, D thing they had going with the Carmines. Honestly, Coalition, just don't skip over that foxhole. Please patch that up. And the new enemies we got, the new robots, I gotta say, were a little annoying to battle against. I get that they fit into the lore well, but it's like, come on, we're not interested in robots. We're not, I promise, it's boring, and it's not really classic Gears. Classic Gears is all about blood and gore and chopping them up with lancers, but robots, I just don't feel like they have a place. And the story in this game, while solid, it was a bit shorter than the last game, a bit disappointed in that. Even though Gears 3 was a huge storyline, it still felt shorter than even Gears 1 or 2. Multiplayer mode on launch had very few characters to choose from. It was extremely bare bones. It's somewhat better now, but they still suffer from the shotguns win epidemic. For those of you who don't know, in multiplayer games like Deathmatch and stuff, Gears of War can be impossible. It feels like everyone is faster than you, and before you know it, you've been point blank Nash a shotgun killed. The Horde mode was kind of ruined as well by these new classes. Not because the classes are a bad idea, but because it's so specific now, everyone's role, that the game has now developed a quitting culture. If you do something even slightly wrong, like build an object that you're not the right class for, people start to leave, and it's actually really annoying. And it's also really annoying that only the engineers can repair fortifications. Honestly, just go back to Horde 3.0, we were solid with that one. The Horde mode was also forced into the story on certain missions, and I gotta say, I didn't enjoy it. It felt like just filler missions or filler content, and it appeared a few times. I gotta say, I'm really not a fan.
Fucking Horde mode being built into the fucking, into the goddamn story, alright? It's different.
Wind flares, whilst a constant threat, were kind of unexplained. I didn't really like them, and I didn't really think they had a place in the game either. I guess it does kind of build into the atmosphere of Gears. One game you traversed the night in threat of the Krill. Another you invaded the underground Locust Hive. The third you travelled across the world. And this game you travelled to the Swarm Hive, which is fine, but the wind flares honestly just don't have a place for me. They don't feel like Gears of War. I just don't know why the wind flares were in there. Unless we really plan to build into that storyline of explaining why they exist, just get rid of them, honestly. Also, the giant robot fight in the last mission was a bit ridiculous. But honestly, I thought about it a bit, and that's kind of Gears of War thing. I mean, we rode Reavers, Brewmark's been inside a giant worm. So being kind of so outlandish, it's kind of Gears of War's thing. But again, I just think giant robots is a bit boring. It's fun in other games, like maybe the Pacific Rim one, where the game revolves around the robot and how you customize them. But the rest of the time, they're just boring. The origins of the Swarm were supposed to be that they were mutated locust corpses, but we never saw things like mutated Reavers, electric worms, and a lot more enemies that were missed out on for the lore they tried to run. If you're going to say everything's been mutated like the Lambent, you need to cover every type of enemy. Really. Overall, I gotta say, the story in this game was solid. Although we missed out on some characters and there's a few holes to fill, this game, for a new company that just took over, was actually pretty solid. The Coalition did really well with an IP they took over. Normally when a company takes over a title, they ruin it, look at Halo. But the Coalition actually did really well. Advice for the next game: fill in the holes I've mentioned, bring back all the characters, or at least give us explanations on what happened so I can finally stop reminiscing about the past and play the current game, because I'm not going to stop thinking about them otherwise. So for a true rating, I'm actually very happy to give this game an 8. It's not for everyone, but it stayed true to its roots, and it's a solid game. I really enjoyed it, even though it fell short in a couple of places. That's going to do it for this Gears of War review. I know it's a little shorter than usual, but this was scripted in the old fashion of how I did Blue reviews, so I had to wing it a little bit. Anyway, I've got a video coming out later today explaining a bunch of stuff that's going to be going on with the channel. Keep an eye out for it. So thanks for letting me marbles, Blue Dudes. I'll see you next time.
I'm blue.